Say.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone. Also, Noelle finally took her hat off. Come here, show off your 80s ponytail. She got a big scrunchie with her hair in a ponytail, but she's like just out of view.
My turn, Simbos.
My turn, Simbos.
Sit on the boat. Sit on the boat is what she's saying.
I don't think so. I think she's speaking Simlish.
That's why she's saying sit on the boat, because she's going to sing row, row, row your boat.
Bone to bone.
Cute. Her inflated...
adorable.
I know, she's just like totally 80s. But her unicorn thing is, she's pretending it's a boat, and all of her puppy stuffed animals are sitting on it.
UMG is wishing they still owned the copyright to that song so they could strike the video.
Hey, I'm not playing their version of it.
Oh no, I do believe it's now public domain.
Okay, as long as she's singing it, if anybody tries to copyright, I will flip a bitch.
Yeah, as we've learned, when YouTube has decided that it has made a decision on something, they don't back down.
Did you see that Metallica got DMCA'd during a live performance on their Twitch channel the other day?
What were they performing?
They have their music set that you can't play it on a stream, and so they started performing. I think it was actually Sad But True. And they started performing, and Twitch took the audio off and replaced it with copyright-free sound, this like copyright-free elevator music, and they had no idea, so they're just like rocking out in the background with this like chimes playing over them because their music's not allowed to be played on Twitch. Is it, Lars?
That's funny.
This decision, you must live with it.
Karma.
When you accidentally punish yourself. All right, so on the screen with me, I have the lovely Jace and Kat and Charlie. Thank you all three for joining me, and we could do some intros and then say hi to the people in the chat and get this shindig started.
Okay. I'm Jace Maxwell. I'm an author of urban fantasy and an editor for Rose City Editing. And today I will be working on some stuff for my Thursday Vampire the Masquerade game because I have to figure out some logistics for powers for Venus Dupree, who will be guest played by the lovely Dahlia De Winters. But I'm also worried this stream that I am going to crash early because I woke up an hour early, and that's not good.
Oh, fingers crossed that you don't.
And then it's my turn, isn't it? Kat, I stream on Twitch at Kat Leo Writing. And currently I'm now looking at keyboards, like the time for typing. Because why not? I want to clack a keyboard. I should be doing schoolwork.
You can have clacky schoolwork.
Exactly. I want the clacks.
Oh,
So yeah, hi.
I also want the clacks.
all of the class.
You know, honestly, that kind of sounds like some sort of a disease, and I'm going to stop saying it now.
Oh, girl, you got the clacks.
Hello, my name is Charlie. I do all kinds of things, including videos and live streams, and I'm currently working on the Zero draft for my epic fantasy series, unless I finally get the notification that my application went through. And then I'll be doing audio stuff because I've got so much that I need to do over there. But I'm still waiting. Yeah, available right now. My butt, Spotify.
All right, well, I guess that leaves me. Hello, I'm Meadow. This is my writing stream that I do every Tuesday. And now that I have my internet back following the ice storm, I am finally back to my normal schedule. Yay! And so yeah, Tuesdays and Fridays writing streams, and then Wednesdays is The Sims. And coming up in the future, I'm doing Arabic lesson videos, and then I'm also an editor for Rose City Editing, and you can go to our website, rosecityediting.com, and get a free sample edit on there. And I guess that's it for me for right now, and I can do extra stuff at the end. And today I'm going to be working on probably the Gatekeepers editing book 1 because I've been in the mood for that lately. I finally finished chapter 17 last night, so yay. And I'm working on chapter 18, yay. And yeah, so that's it for me. And now we can say hi to everybody. So we have Devin, the lovely Mr. Tugwaddle. It's not a stream without Devin here. And we have Spence. Hello, Spence. And we have CB. Hello, CB. How are you? And we have Laura. Hello, Laura. How are you? Charlie finally finished their outline?
Yes. I'm actually kind of thinking of this as like the -1 draft because I have the outline for all 5 books done, and I'm going through and working on the first book, but I feel weird calling it an outline because it's got a lot of dialogue and some description in here, so it's kind of like a pre-zero draft, if there is such a thing. So I'm just considering it part of my zero drafting.
Nice. Spence, if you want to join, let me know. I will send you the link. I didn't send it to you because it is Tuesday and your hubby usually gets mad at you for staying on the stream for too long. So if you want to, though, you're welcome to. Just let me know.
We can beat them up.
Spence is going to be working on drafts 1 through 3 of the Vampire Christmas Romance. Nice. And CB's pretty good. You're welcome. I like my outlines. See, outlining is not my strong suit, but there's some projects where I just have to do it anyways because, like, example, my romance project, I've never written romance before. I need an outline because I'm not familiar with the proper structure for romance.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of outlining either, but I'm really glad that I did it because a twist came up in book 3 that changed books 4 and 5, and the new ending of book 5 had to be reincorporated into book 1. So, so that the setup's there throughout the series. So I'm really glad that I took the time to do this.
I've got to do that for my series because I do not want to set book 1 out into the universe knowing that there's a strong chance that I'm going to need to seed something in book 1 for later books.
Gotta outline the whole series. I need to also because I have book 1 down. I have book 2 down. I have half of book 3. There's going to be at least 2 to 3 more after that, and I have no idea what's going to happen in any of them. So,
well, that's the other thing that I know is this is now the first in many books because over the weekend I realized that all my fantasy worlds are so closely related to each other, they might as well be one fantasy world. So I spent time over the weekend and yesterday merging everything into one continuity. So I actually have now outlines for about 3 or 4 series and technically have 4 books done in this universe that need to be rewritten now, but I'm very excited.
Spence is on her way. She messaged me and said hubby's not home yet today, so he can suck it, and I would love to be with you guys. Yay! Laura is mapping out the city and writing the little scenarios, scenes that they think of as they map stuff out. Awesome, awesome. I don't have a need for a map in my series because urban fantasy and the general world is quite familiar.
I don't know, because...
I mean, I did make up a town, but they don't really spend a ton of time in said town. I suppose I could map out the estate.
Yeah.
That is the one really nice thing about the worlds colliding like they did over the weekend is I'd already spent like 4 months doing an ultra detailed world map for one of the other worlds that I get to just use now. I don't have to make another world map. I was not looking forward to that. I'm very excited. Like, because it all came down to like, I just like sat up in the middle of the night and it was like, oh crap, this is like that cataclysm thing that they're always talking about in the other books, but I'm writing it in a different setting. Oh crap. And then it was like, well, why can't this be that thing? So
Why not both?
yeah.
No, the maps I need for my series are maps of San Francisco because they take place there for the most part. And yeah, it would be nice if I knew what the hell I was talking about.
And all the topographical maps, because up and down in San Francisco are never what you think they're going to be.
Mhm.
Okay,
There's so
So-
many hills.
I know.
I used to live in Monterey, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I've been to San Francisco quite a few times. And when I was reading Jace's book, when I was beta reading it, I actually thought that he might have lived in San Francisco at one point because he described it so well.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember asking you, like, did you ever live in San Francisco? And you're like, no. I'm like, oh, well, you made it seem like you, like, have been there at least. Like, when you were describing, like, when he was running, when he was on his morning run and he was, like, running up the hills and stuff. And I was like, yep, that's exactly what it's like to live there. So, I mean, I think you did a really good job just describing, like, the hilly, mountainy-ness of it.
I think what my strength is getting a feel of a place and a mood.
And the fog. You did a good job with the fog, too.
I miss the fog. The salty tingle in the air. Oh, so nice.
Also, hi, Spence. Okay, Jace, continue.
Sorry, I got thrown off by Salty Tingle.
I mean, it's like a salty seawater type fog. Like if you ever go to the beach when it's like cloudy outside and it's like kind of gray and it's like that, but it's through the whole like residential area, like all the way up, and you're like you walk outside and it's just like salt water fog in your face.
Yeah, and it's all tingly. Like
Yeah,
you
love
really
it.
Yeah, you can feel it in a way that normal fog you can't.
Effervescent.
Yes.
It's like walking through Alka-Seltzer.
Kind of. And it's so powerful if you stand on the bridge when it comes in, it will actually push you back a little bit. Like when the wall of fog first starts creeping in. It's kind of neat.
I was in the Army when I lived in Monterey, so I would be up at 4 and on base by 5, and I would be already awake when the fog would be rolling in, and I'd be out doing PT, physical training, out in the field, and when that fog comes in while you're running a 2-mile run, it's interesting.
And days with no fog are hell on earth because nothing has air conditioners because it never gets above 70 unless there's no fog.
Mhm.
And then it's like 90 to 100.
Yeah, because it's actually pretty chill in that area because you're right by the ocean and stuff. It
And the
stays
fog
pretty
is so
like
cooling.
it stays pretty reasonably temperatured, and then you get in the summer and it'll be a day like there's no fog and it's like 100 degrees and you're melting.
Well, that wouldn't be a problem for Ben
True.
because Ben is a transplant from Montgomery, Alabama.
True.
And just watch the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend episode about the Santa Ana winds because that's the most relatable episode of television I've ever seen.
Yeah. Do you like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend? I freaking love that show.
I love that show.
I love it. Okay, sorry, this is gonna be a side note, but since you like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, have you seen Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist yet?
A little bit of it.
I think you'd really like it, and the music, it's not in the same where it's like parody songs. It's actual like it's more on the lines of like a Glee type musical show, but it's actually like way better quality music than Glee, and the storylines are astronomically better than Glee. But I like it a lot, and it made me cry a lot.
I'll definitely have to check that out.
Okay. Sorry. Side note over. Okay. Spence, since you just joined us a moment ago and you haven't really said much yet because we've been talking, why don't you quickly do an intro, tell us what you're working on today, etc.
Hi, I'm Spence. I have a YouTube channel, Haley Spence, I think it still is, because I don't have enough to change it. I make videos about baking and art and writing and sewing. My sewing video should be going up soon. And today I'm working on a cheesy vampire Hallmark style Christmas novel that is supposed to be done by the end of this month.
Yay!
And I'm on chapter 2.
Well, good luck. You've got 5 more days.
3 of those days I'm supposed to like not do anything.
You've got 2 more days.
Yep.
You might need to give yourself an extension to your deadline.
Yeah, which sucks because this is the extension to my extension.
Yeah, I feel that. I wanted to be done with this book that I'm working on today like 6 months ago. And I'm not even halfway through it yet. So, I feel that.
I have knocked out everything else I have to do other than this. So that'll be good. That'll be helpful.
Maybe you can get maybe you can do like a 2 10K days or something.
That's what I'm thinking Saturday and Sunday are going to be, and we'll just see if I can do it.
Well, good luck.
210K? That 210K?
No. 20K. 2 days. 2
Oh, wow.
days.
Okay, Jace has just acknowledged that he's going to be doing the 1K challenge. He's going to get up in the morning and not stop writing until he hits 100K. Yay!
You got stuff.
You got to now.
That is not physically possible for me.
1K or death.
Then I choose death.
Okay.
My fingers would feel like death.
That's where the cake is.
I want to show off my desk to the people that didn't get to see it yet because I'm excited about it. So here's my desk set up.
Ooh.
Nice.
And it has this section that...
Nice.
I love those.
It's not the one that I had initially wanted, but I'm happy with it. And unfortunately, I wanted it to be black to match, see that bookshelf over there? Like, all of my furniture is that color, and I wanted it to match that, but they didn't have it in stock, so I'm going to paint it. And I'm going to paint the legs to match the rest of the furniture, and I'm going to do some brightly colored thing on the desktop. So,
Rainbow swirlies. Yay!
see, okay, so I've seen all of Glee like 3 or 4 times, like watched it all the way through 3 or 4 times. I don't hate it. It's very nostalgic for me because it came out when I was in like 7th or 8th grade, and I watched it while it was airing through like 7th, 8th grade, all through high school and stuff. So it's like nostalgic for me. It reminds me of my younger days, whatever. I still understand that the storylines are not good. And
the first season.
The first season was good, but honestly, they ruined it at the end of the first episode. I can explain. The whole thing of Mr. Schuster sacrificing, the higher paying job to stay at the school despite his wife being pregnant. And, that's a high stakes thing. I thought it was a very good storyline, but then they ruined it after the first episode when, the following storyline of the pregnancy ensues, because that means his sacrifice was for nothing. I think that was a very quickly, the show's going to be really good, and they ruined it, and now it's just a downhill slope from here. In my opinion. However, I still enjoy it. I still think that Matthew Morrison's acting in the scene where he finds out about the pregnancy thing, still, like, even now, if I watch that scene, I'm, like, blown away because he did a really good job in that scene.
Yeah.
But still, that's my opinion on the show. Glee is it's good if you were a fan of it initially. If you watch it now and you weren't really a fan, you're probably not going to like it.
So well.
It doesn't hold up so well. You're probably not going to like it. I'm willing to admit the storylines are crap. The music is generally not even close to as good as the originals. Sometimes you get a couple that are better or at least as good, but most of the time they're not. But and one of the actors on the show was a child predator and unalived himself when he after he confessed and got convicted, and then another actor overdosed, and another actor, the most recent one, drowned saving her son from drowning. That one was sad because I really, really liked Naya Rivera.
Yeah.
Almost got you in the butt.
She's very talented, but she's a hero and saved her young child from drowning in the lake and got wrapped up in the weeds, I think.
Yep. And it gave us the epic war of words between Ryan Murphy and the Foo Fighters that lasted for a decade.
Between Ryan Murphy and who?
The Foo Fighters.
Didn't know about that.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's so funny because Ryan, I love you. You do some interesting TV, but you think way too much of yourself.
Which is probably what allowed Lea Michele to be the way she was.
I think Lea Michele's a very, very talented singer. I don't think she's a very nice person in real life.
That is what has been said.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't really know much about what she's like in real life until more recently, when a lot of the actors of color from the show were coming out saying that she's really, I don't know if she's necessarily racist, but she's very self-serving and kind of racist-ish, from what I understand. Not outwardly, but kind of seems like she might be.
I think it's more of a race pig ignorant.
Something like that, yeah. She's not actively out there being the KKK or anything like that, but she's I think she probably has some prejudices against people of color. Is what it seems like.
And I'm sorry, but there's only one Barbara Streisand and Henry Wayne
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, now that we've talked for 23 minutes, we need to do a sprint.
Sprint!
All right. Let's do this thing. Noelle, come here.
Dang it, that means I need to get back to writing.
Noelle, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! No. Go. She's not going to do it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ring, ding, 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 ding.
Okay, can we just take a moment to appreciate Noelle's really cute jacket?
Oh, that is cute.
It's got bunnies and flowers on it. And one random ass cat right here.
Yes.
Everything else is bunnies, and then there's just a cat.
Kitty!
That cat's
Oh.
gonna eat them bunnies.
There's the other half of the cat. Since it's got the tail.
I thought the other half of the cat is over a couple of windows from you.
Jace. Jace.
But everything else is bunnies. Look at the cute bunnies. My mom raises and shows rabbits, and got her this. And as you can see why, because, you know, bunnies. And she was wearing it, but she took it off. And now she's just wearing a t-shirt and her jeans. So I got sucked into a rabbit hole of looking at pictures of Kristen Stewart because on my writing playlist on YouTube, I got an ad for The Happiest Season, the movie that she was in, the lesbian romance Christmas movie she was in. And so I was like, you know what? I Googled her because I didn't know if she was lesbian or if she was like just bisexual. I was just curious. I was Googled it, and I didn't really get a definitive answer, but not that it really matters that much anyways. But I'm going to say she looks, in pictures since she came out versus before, she looks like 90% happier in those pictures. Like,
yeah. Noticeably.
Like noticeably, like she smiles a lot more in the pictures. She just looks happier. And I was just really happy to see that. I was just scrolling through pictures, and it was like some of like in her Twilight days and stuff before she came out, and then some stuff after. And I was like you can just tell, you can just see the difference in like her the way she carries herself and like all the pictures afterwards. And I'm gonna say, not a lot of, you know, naturally brunette actresses and stuff can pull off, you know, the changing to blonde and the short hair. She looks really good with it. Like, she pulls it off.
Yep.
She really does.
Yeah.
One day, it was a while ago, I had just happened to have been scrolling, like, I guess I'm looking at pictures of Kristen Stewart now. And I ended up discovering that one of the really big named fashion designers, like, she's one of the few people who have had several lines. Like, she's the only person, I think, who has ever had more than one line, like, inspired by her.
Nice.
By the same designer. And she also got over the pandemic, she actually got a private show. She was the only person physically at the show.
That's really cool. I don't know. I haven't really seen anything on Kristen Stewart that seems problematic. Like, pretty much most of the stuff I see about her is pretty wholesome. The only criticism I've ever really had for her is that her early acting work was really just kind of bland and emotionless, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
She's gotten better over the years. Like, she's really honed in on her craft a lot more. Like, the same way that we as writers get better the more we do it, she's definitely gotten really good. And I'm really upset with myself because I haven't seen The Happiest Season yet. And I don't know why I haven't watched it yet. And I need to watch it because, like, how often do we get a big motion, like a major movie that comes out that's like a Hallmark style romance Christmas movie, but it's lesbians? Like, never.
It's true.
Like, plus Dan Levy's in it, and I adore Dan Levy. So
Dan Levy's the best.
You know, it's a really good Kristen Stewart movie that like gets better every time you watch it. American Ultra.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but usually I'm the only person in the room who liked that movie.
It gets better every time I watch it.
Another movie of hers from her earlier work that I really enjoyed, that the bland, emotionless acting really suited, was Speak. I don't know if anybody's seen it. It's about a girl who was, when she was in 8th grade, she was sexually assaulted at a party, and the movie takes place afterwards, and she's basically kind of mute because of the trauma that happened to her, and she hasn't really been able to process it because she hasn't told anybody about it. And so it's called Speak because it's about her journey from not speaking at all to kind of re-emerging from that through art. And it's really, really good. The book is really good. The movie was really good. And because she doesn't really talk at all, that her older, not as good acting suited it really well. But that movie is really good, and it's a really powerful story about overcoming a traumatic sexual assault and stuff, and it's good. I liked it. I liked her in that movie. I liked that movie in general.
Yeah. She's been acting since she was 9 years old.
But yeah, so I spent the majority of that sprint just looking at pictures of Kristen Stewart and being like, oh, she looks really happy in this picture. Oh, she doesn't look as happy in this picture. Oh, she looks really happy in this picture.
So I may have to just mute in a minute. We had to replace our refrigerator because it old and no work no more. And I just got the text that the hubby's on his way with the new one.
Nice.
So, between him making noise and the dog barking because something strange moved into the house. So if I ignore anyone, I'm sorry. But hi, Bonnie.
Yes, hi Bonnie, and also hi Allie. I didn't see you earlier until after we started the sprint, so hello. And yay. Okay. Why are you yelling?
She's got opinions, Mommy. That's why she's yelling.
Well, she's got this little shopping cart, and she's put a bunch of toys in it and is pushing it back and forth between the door over here and over here. And something fell out of it, and she got really upset.
Well, wouldn't you?
How dare it?
Yeah.
How very dare.
How double dog dare.
Well, I need to close the tab with all the pictures of Kristen Stewart so I don't go back into that. And, yay. Okay, that is closed now. May or may not write. Well, you can do whatever you need to do. You don't have to just write during the sprints. You can do house chores if you have them. You can do creative stuff of any sort. You can do whatever.
I'm probably gonna end up cleaning the guinea pig cage.
Life sprints, man. Life sprints.
Roof.
Okay. Speaking of sprints, we should just jump into a new one quickly because I want to try to get 4 in the stream.
Okay.
If I'm able to. Fingers
Let's do
crossed.
it.
Let's do it.
I gotta write 3,000 words before my son goes to bed, and that's when Mr. Spence gets to be like, "No, my attention. Your attention's mine now."
Well, let's do it then. Oh, let's do it.
Battle cry.
3, 2, 1, go! Ding ding. Okay, sorry. It took me a while to pause my music, so I'm just vibing over here. Okay, how did everybody do? I wrote 3 sentences.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't laugh. That's 3 more sentences than you had before you started.
No, I know what I want to do for the next scene, but I'm having trouble transitioning from the scene that I have into that scene. So, yeah, because she goes from being in her office working on the murder case that she's trying to solve to then now she's going to go out for a ride and go read her grandma's journal, like out in the woods by herself because she's having a really hard time figuring out the case and things that she can like connect with her grandmother more and like her thought process, because you're the only one that knows what I'm talking about, Jace. She's going out, her grandmother previously worked on the same case. She's trying to get into the same mindset of her grandmother because she's having trouble like figuring it out. So she's like, hey, I'm going to go read this journal that my grandmother wrote and I'm going to go out and do it in nature because I need fresh air. And I'm having trouble transitioning from her being inside working in the office to going outside to ride horses and read. I don't know why it's so difficult, but it's difficult for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that would be difficult.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because it's been such a long time since I've worked on this project that I'm having trouble just getting in to Alex's head, because since it's first person, like getting into her narrative voice. I think I'm just having trouble connecting with Alex as a character and not necessarily like the scene itself, but just how she would describe the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of at the point where I finally was able to write 3 sentences because it's just like, I grabbed the journal and walked to the door. I'm walking outside. And then I can fix it later.
What? No.
So, yeah. How did everybody else do? Kat is still cleaning the cage, so that's why she's not back talking with us yet.
Between the first sprint and the second, I managed to get just shy of 500 words.
Nice.
You're on your way! Woo!
I didn't get anything done besides watching stuff because my early wake up is catching up to me. So I'm just trying to stay awake.
Well, if you need to dip out early to go to bed, just let me know. We won't be upset at you because, you need sleep. So
I should be fine. It's just a matter of keeping lucid.
Yeah, I'm having trouble deciding when I want to do the Sims stream because I need to do it today before we do our regular one tomorrow so I can catch up and be good to go for us to do like the normal schedule. But I have to go pick up my groceries at 6 o'clock. And that means I have to leave here. That means I could only stream for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I think I would have to do it after I get home, and it would be like late at night instead of afternoon.
Sounds like you figured it out.
Yeah, I just don't want to stream that late at night. That's the problem. So, honestly, I guess I'm gonna have to do it after I get back and after I cook dinner, because that's literally the only logical time that would work into my schedule today. Because I have to pick up my groceries at 6, and when this stream ends around 3, but I have to leave here by 5:30 at the latest, so that means I can only stream. Well, because I also still have to move the save file over from the other computer to my laptop. So like,
so that's what you'll be doing during the time before groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah, replace the batteries.
So, I guess I will be doing The Sims after I cook dinner this evening. Jordan closes today, so I don't have to worry about him for the first couple hours at least. So, yay. Plus, we finished the show that we were watching together, so he's not going to probably bother me too much to come watch our show together because we finished it.
What show were you guys watching?
We were watching My Hero Academia, but we finished all the episodes that are out, and now we have to wait for season 5.
You know what's a new one you guys should start? Food Wars.
We've been debating. It's on our list on Hulu to watch, but we were debating between that one or Inuyasha.
Do Food Wars first, because Food Wars is shorter, and then do Inuyasha. Because Inuyasha is such a show of memes. And it's so long.
A bunch of his friends who are also into anime keep telling him he needs to watch it, and he hasn't seen it yet. So we were considering starting that one. But then again, I also kind of want to rewatch One Punch Man because, I mean, it's One Punch Man. How can you not watch it a million times? But we have been thinking about Food Wars too.
Yeah, Food Wars is hilarious. It is mildly uncomfortable at times.
It's basically like, from what a friend of mine told me, that the way they react to the food is like they're orgasming.
Yes, it is. It is like uncomfortably sexual at times in funny ways.
I also need to finish watching Black Butler because I'm only halfway through season 2, and there's still another season after that. See, when I watched Black Butler, I thought it was just one season. And so I was like, okay, cool, that was a good show. Like, it wrapped up really nicely. And then all of a sudden Netflix notified me, hey, season 2 is out. I'm like, wait, what? There's another season? And then season 3 came out just a couple months after that. And I was like, wait, what? There's 3 seasons? So.
Yeah, you should do it order of
Food Wars next. You know, honestly, it's been on our list for long enough. We could probably just start that one. But. Jordan tried to say that he's watched more anime than me, but I'm realizing now, because I watch a bunch by myself too, I think I've surpassed him now in the amount of anime that I've watched. He's definitely read a lot more manga than I have, but I think I've watched more anime than he has. Does that make me superior? I think it does.
Quote unquote superior.
Oh, Spence disappeared.
Oh no.
Hopefully she can return. I think Charlie's probably still dealing with the refrigerator situation. And I believe Kat is probably... Oh, no, Kat's there. Okay. Kat is now done cleaning the cage and has returned. Oh, Spence just messaged me on Facebook. Ack, BRB.
Ack.
So, yeah. Does anybody in the chat have any recommendations for anime that I should watch? Like, what's your favorite one, or what's one that you think I would really enjoy? My favorite anime is Death Note. I really liked Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I really liked My Hero Academia. We're currently watching Attack on Titan as the new episodes come out because the final season is premiering right now, and we're watching those. They premiere every Sunday they go on to Hulu every Sunday, so that's our Sunday thing. Your Lie in April was good, but it was so overdramatic it made me want to punch every single character constantly. I don't know if anybody's seen Your Lie in April, but it's like so melodramatic that it makes a tween starting puberty look like a normal person. Like, maybe that's not the best analogy, but everything in that anime is so dramatic and like the end all be all of what, like, everything is so overdramatic, like to the point where I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like, it's not that important. Why are you making it be that important? What the hell? Like, it's so annoying. Storyline is good. The actual, like, everything else about it angers me to no end.
So those are, like, I watched very completely different anime. Like, I watched Ouran High School Host Club, but I also
that one's really good.
I own all of the manga for Ouran High School Host Club in physical form and ebook form because I couldn't afford the paperback, like the physical ones originally.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now I technically own 2 copies.
So far for anime, my taste that I've come across so far that I'm starting to realize I really like action, but with humor mixed in. Like One Punch Man is like the perfect combo because it's really funny, but there's a lot of action and like fights and stuff. And My Hero Academia is the same. Attack on Titan's not as humorous, but it's still the story and writing is really good. What's going on? Did you bite your tongue? Come here, let me kiss. Well, I don't want to kiss your tongue, but come here, let me make it.
At least not on camera.
What's the matter? Where's your boo-boo? Where's your boo-boo? Oh, is it your finger? It's not your tongue, it's your finger. Okay, I can kiss that. Okay, so she got this really bad boo-boo on her finger. I don't know how she got it, but she keeps chewing on it and making it worse. It was just a little tiny scrape when she first got it, and now it's like huge.
Neosporin and Band-Aid time.
Yeah, Jordan has the first aid kit in his car, and I forgot to grab it because we went on a road trip and I haven't needed any first aid stuff until now, and now that I need it, it's not in the house and it's in his car. Don't chew on your fingers. You're okay.
No.
You're okay. You're all right. Go play. You're fine. So yeah.
Would you like to know my father's response to no Band-Aids? Paper towel and tape.
I feel that.
And if you don't have anything to clean it off with, whiskey.
I can't kiss your tongue. That's gross.
Okay.
She's going, ah! I'm like, nope, not gonna kiss your tongue. Yuck. Here. All better. That's what I do when she wants me to kiss places I don't want to kiss. Kiss the finger, touch the kiss to the boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes she'll get mad at me and say, use your mouth! This is
No.
That's a negative.
Yeah, like she had kind of like a diaper rash-ish, but more like a yeasty infection type thing. I don't know what was going on, but it had some irritation in her intimate areas and wanted me to kiss her boo-boos. And I said, no, I'm not going to kiss your boo-boos. Here, like very quickly. And she's like, no, use your mouth. Nope, not happening. Not happening, kid. No.
That's going to be a hard no there, Kat.
Okay. No.
The only time mommy will go anywhere near there is if it's for hygiene reasons. That's it. Nothing else. Nope. And she just gets so mad and to the point where she's like crying because I won't use my mouth to kiss her boo-boo. Sorry, kid. You're just going to have to tantrum. It's not happening.
Yep.
Let's see. I don't really see a ton of new comments, so let's just started. My roommate is a cat, and I like it. There's only a few episodes though. I also really liked Gargantia on the Verdurous planet, something like that. That one was really good, but there's only one season. I don't know. Just if anybody watches anime and you have any recommendations for me, just throw them out there.
Dura.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites, and I can't explain it to you.
I don't know how to spell that, so Oh.
It's how it sounds.
Durara.
Durara. Yeah. Just
D-U-R-U-R-A?
I think so.
Okay, hopefully. I'm sure it'll probably come up either way.
I
How do you
googled it.
spell Durara? Is it a D-U-R?
I googled it. Hold on.
Okay.
I put it in the private chat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot more letters than I thought.
I know. I typed it wrong, so then I typed anime at the end, and then it gave me the correct spelling.
Yeah, okay. D-U-R-A-R-A-R-A.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Thank you, honey. We got it.
Oh, he's trying to be helpful. Okay. I think we
That and then Ranma 1/2 is another long one that's just silly, verging on stupid.
Oh, another one that me and Jordan watched together that I really liked was Assassination Classroom. That one, that one was really good, and it was a very satisfying storyline and ending, and like bittersweet, and it was good. Just overall, and they did a really good job of like continuing the story arc all through the whole series, and they didn't really have a lot of just like filler episodes or anything. Every episode contributed to the overall story arc, and it was really good. Happy writing, gotta go eat dinner. All right, Laura, have fun eating dinner. And FNIA. Let me Google what this means, I guess.
Oh, another one that's one of Mr. Spence and my favorites is Rosario plus Vampire.
So I haven't seen very much of it, but when my sister was 8 or 9, I walked in on her watching it. And it was a scene where the succubus woman was rubbing her boobs all up in the main character's face. And I'm like, Kendra, what the hell are you watching? It's a cartoon, it's for kids. It's not a cartoon, for one, it's anime. And just because it's animated does not mean it's for children. Like, turn this off immediately.
And then Baka and Test is another ridiculous, funny, rompy, rom-commy shenanigan fest.
There was a ton of new anime that came out last year that I think looks really good. That I'm gonna start watching those too. But I want to watch a lot of the older stuff too. That's like classics.
Furikuri.
That people
Yes, fully coolly. I bought that for Mr. Spence for Christmas, and it is the best thing ever.
Okay. So
That one is so bizarre.
Like, you can't explain that to somebody. You can just experience it, and you get out of it what you need to.
Okay, FNIA anime. 5 Nights in Anime. Okay. I will look into that one, Bonnie. I haven't seen this on any of my streaming services, so I'd have to look and see where I could find it.
You know, thinking back, I can't even remember what happened in Furikuri. I know that I have seen it.
Yeah, it changes every time you watch it. That one I think is a really important one to watch because it legitimately changed the way dubs were done.
Okay.
Because the people who did the dub for Furikuri loved it the way the people who did the original loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like dubs now are a lot more faithful to like the originals because they try to convey the same type of emotions and stuff in the voice acting in the dubs.
Yeah, the Furikuri dub balanced a lot of the like what it meant versus what it said in ways that just make it perfect no matter what. It's
Well,
about
I
puberty and aliens and weird grown-ups.
I will
pop
add
culture.
that to my list also. Jordan has been trying to get me to watch Claymore, but it's when I started watching it, the first few episodes are like basically the exact same as the first few episodes of The Witcher.
In order to find Fooly Cooly, look up FLCL. Just all caps.
FLCL.
Because I don't think it's found any other way than that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
it came up. I think I recognize some of the characters.
And the first season's only 6 episodes, and it's a self-contained story. So you can just like do that in a couple of days.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen. I didn't know there was more than that.
Yeah, the last, I don't know when they came out, but recently they came out with 2 and 3, which are like FLCL and then another name.
Huh.
I've also been recommended JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a lot. I don't know if anybody here has seen it.
The Drawfee channel that I watch a lot, they swear by it.
I've also heard a lot of good things about One Piece, but that the world is really hard to accept because it's just really bizarre. And that once you get past that, the anime itself is really good.
One Piece is just so long, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I've heard, you watch that forever.
What's the matter?
Strawberry.
Go put that in the garbage. It's yucky. I don't know where you got that from, but it's yucky.
Not again. Okay, I'm having RLS really bad right now.
I don't know.
Restless leg syndrome.
Oh.
Like, it's haywire. And it's driving me nuts.
Second trimester with that creature back there, restless leg syndrome, horrible. Like to the point where I couldn't sleep at all, pretty much, because it would only happen when I would lay down to go to bed, and it was really uncomfortable. And so I'd have to get up and walk around for it to stop. But then because I'm up walking around, I'm still not sleeping, and because when I lay down to sleep, my legs are doing their thing and can't sleep because my legs are moving around.
Mm-hmm.
I had it really bad the other day, and I was so annoyed because I basically stayed up till like 5 a.m. because I couldn't sleep.
My right leg keeps going full on thumper.
Oh man, I'm sorry for you. I relate. I'm sorry for your pain. Oh, I think Charlie returned because they're unmuted now.
Yes, I am just seething.
What's going on?
Oh, the sorry, I don't want to say bad words on your channel. Especially the bad words that I'm wanting to say.
Noelle said worse, so don't worry about it.
True.
So it got stuck in the door, and instead of going back down the steps and letting us deal with the door, he insisted on standing there and keeping the door open while I was trying to find the 3 cats that had ran off somewhere. He then figured out how to get it in and wasn't paying attention and almost destroyed a statue of the Holy Family that luckily I snatched out of the way in time. Luckily, I was able to grab our TV before he knocked it off the wall and destroyed it. And then he shattered some family heirlooms and knocked a statue that one of my dead relatives made across the room because he wasn't paying fucking attention to what he was doing.
Well, I understand the seething then.
And then we only just found the 3rd cat. So that was nerve-wracking.
I'm glad that you found the cats, but I'm sorry for your heirlooms.
I'm just livid.
Do you need to go and like try to cool down, or do you want to?
Oh no, if I if I don't know that I'm like there's a chance that I can get listened to, it's one of the reasons why I muted my mic. I will go into a rage spiral that will send me into a depressive spiral because my rage always folds in on me.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, we're here for you. Stay as long as you need.
I felt that sentence so hard, Charlie.
I was gonna say mine does that too. It's like I'm mad, and as soon as I can push that anger away, the depression sets in.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's this trend on TikTok that's been going around of people saying, me after I stick up for myself, and it'll show them like with no sound, like yelling at someone, and then they like go pick up a drink in their hands, like because after they stick up for themselves and they've like, they just screamed at somebody, sticking up for themselves, and now their anxiety's kicked in, and they're just like, and I've never related to something so much in my life. Like. That's like me on the daily because I've decided I'm done taking shit from Jordan, and I yell at him every time. And then after he leaves, and then I'm just like, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done, man.
So luckily, I have a decent husband who, in my fit of rage, ran around with and cleaned up all the broken glass, and like. Because I'm just like incandescent with rage.
I'm glad that your husband's there to help.
Yeah, he had to go back to the restaurant. So, but yeah, like luckily, I just don't understand. Like you're in somebody else's house. Like,
how can you be that oblivious to your surroundings, sir?
Especially because it wasn't even in the pathway. That's the thing that really. Yeah, he like basically turned the wrong way and started walking right into the entertainment center, which is not even in the pathway. And like I saw where he was going and grabbed the statue of the Holy Family that we have there and got it out of the way and had just enough time to get back and grab the TV. Like,
I mean, at the very least, go and look around before you start so that you can know what is there and what you need to avoid.
You think?
One of my best friends works for a moving company, like a furniture company, so he has to move stuff into other people's houses all the time. And it is so easy to be aggressively efficient and not hurt someone's stuff. Like...
Yeah, and he kept explaining how he'd been a furniture mover and it's okay, and he didn't apologize. He just went, there you go, and then went and got in his truck and drove off. Went and got in the van and drove off. Yeah.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah.
The only movers I've had to deal with was because the Army, when you move, they pay for your moving expenses, and the moving company that packed up my apartment, because they come pack everything, load it in a truck, and then a driver drives it out, and then they unpack everything. And they don't unpack the boxes, but they move everything into the house. And the only annoying thing was the amount of packing supplies that they used was so above necessary. It drove me crazy. Like, there's the ancient guardian guy. Because they get paid for their supplies. No, he doesn't. Supplies too. They overuse supplies and overcharge the Army for the supplies because they did way more than they needed to. Like, basically scamming. And when I was unpacking all of our stuff and putting it away into our apartment when we moved to Oregon, I was like, why did they use this much bubble wrap? Why did they use this much packing material? This is way beyond necessary. They I had a stack of 4 plates that could have been in a box about this tall, like this big a box, because it was 4 plates. And it was in a box this tall because of how much packing material that they used for my 4 plates.
Make things easy.
So I have to remember to say thank you to Stephanie, and I'm going to start running ads for this stupid thing on like every stream I'm on. This ring light is amazing because it's super, super bright. It will light up everything. its path, and this is how I found the cat.
Well,
Because it's brighter than any flashlight that we have.
yeah.
This ring light is amazing. It's a little clip light, $15. It's on Amazon, and it's got 3
I'll have
settings.
to try it out.
All
I
right.
think I've heard about that
All
one.
right.
A lot of people use it when they're taking selfies and stuff because you can clip it onto the top of your phone.
Yep.
Do you get affiliate links from Amazon, Charlie?
No, because the state I live in, they don't do affiliates, but this thing has come in so useful. Yeah,
You
Amazon
can't
has
do it.
banned the entire state of Missouri from the affiliate program.
Huh.
But yeah,
Rude.
love this thing. Especially because I used to make money from that back in the day.
Why would they ban the all like?
Because they haven't undone what they did when states started putting sales tax on Amazon stuff. The excuse was, oh, you have affiliates here, so we get to tax you. That's how the state taxes started going in. So basically, every time they passed a internet sales tax, they just cut off all their affiliates so that the excuse didn't hold anymore.
Gotcha. Well, I guess that's why I'm thankful that Oregon does not have sales tax. I don't got to worry about that.
Yeah, I used to make quite a bit
Every
from
other tax is ridiculously high, but we don't have sales tax.
I have to say, it has come in so handy. I've used it for like some pictures. I've used it for some video recording, but it's also been really, really handy to find stuff around the house because it is so bright and you can like clip it onto your chest. So if you need both hands, you can just Iron Man light that out into the room and you can find what you're looking for. Like, I'm so glad Stephanie told me about this thing.
That all happened so fast.
Okay.
Boom.
So, Jace, it's almost
Yes.
3 or 6 for you.
Nice to know.
Are you going to be able to make it through 20 minutes and then do your outro, or do you want to do your outro now?
I should probably do the outro now. I'm fading.
Okay, go ahead.
I am Jace Maxwell. I'm an author of urban fantasy. I'm an editor for Rose City Editing. I do game streams 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I do a Vampire the Masquerade tabletop RPG on my channel on Thursdays at noon. And I do my writing streams on Saturday afternoons at 4.
Sweet.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Have good
Good
rest.
night. Have a good sleep.
Bye.
Okay, so I wanted to get 4 sprints in. We've done 2? Have we done 2 or 3?
I think we only done 2.
Okay, so, well, now that I don't have to necessarily worry about Jace, falling asleep on us because now he's going to bed, we could go a little bit longer than normal and do the 2 more.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
I just want to get Kat some caffeine.
All right. Well, let's start our 3rd sprint, and then we'll just go over the normal 2 hours and do our 4th sprint. I don't have anything to do until I have to leave at 5:30 to go pick up my groceries. So I need to go a little bit extra.
I might end up disappearing, just because I want to do a gaming stream and then a productivity stream later.
Okay.
So, but I'll stick it for at least this sprint that you're about to do.
All right, sounds good. Excuse me. I'm drinking liquids, and apparently I drink too fast and I get air trapped. Okay, let's do another sprint because we've been very chatty, and I actually do want to get some work done. And I will reiterate the question. If you watch anime and you have recommendations for anime for me to watch that either you just really love or you think that I would really like, please let me know. Leave them in the chat. And I will add them to my list of animes that I need to watch. Okay, thanks. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Yay, another sprint done. Let me just say, I don't know if it's all toddlers or no, it's called this one's called Little Baby Bum. It's basically the same as Cocomelon, but it's a different company, so the animations are different.
I'm seeing it at a funky angle.
Yeah, so she finished Cocomelon for like the millionth time, and she was watching Thomas the Train show. Didn't want to watch that anymore, so I, backed out, and I was like, okay, what do you want to watch? And I was going through all of like her recently watched stuff, and she's just saying that one, that one, that one. I'm like, I don't know what that means, and so I'm going through each one. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? No. And then so finally I had to stand up and point at each like thing to find out which one she wanted, because that one does not tell me which one. Like, I don't know if that's just a toddler thing or if it's just her, but like, oh my god, I was getting
No, that's a toddler thing.
I was so annoyed.
Yeah.
Well, because at first she kept saying penguins, because she was like a few weeks ago she had watched part of the Madagascar penguins like sideshow thing that they had, and she kept saying penguins. So I was like, okay, penguins. So I turned that on. No, not penguins. I don't want to watch this. Like, oh god. Okay, which one? That one. That one. That one.
Yeah, teaching Pizza Demon how to use the remote was a great thing.
I don't trust her with the remote because she chews on it, and the remote for this TV, we have to get a new one because a while back, like, she chewed on it and basically, like, it doesn't work at all anymore. So.
Yeah, Pizza Demon was never one for chewing on stuff that wasn't meant for chewing on.
She's so bad at it. She puts everything in her mouth, and it's like, I'm constantly like, what is that in your mouth? Spit it out, and then it's like a piece of garbage or a marble that she found somewhere, or whatever it happens to be. It's like, no, this is not food. If it is not food, it does not go in mouth.
Mm-hmm. I know you get the most information about the world through your mouth right now, but that's not a good excuse to put marbles in your mouth, child.
You sound like my husband. And I broke Cat.
But yeah. The frustration that I felt when that one, mommy, which one?
Not enough information there.
But now she's like engrossed, like, oh my gosh, okay, I gotta point the camera towards her. She's just like
baby kryptonite.
She is sucked into that TV. Like, she hasn't moved since I turned it on. She sat down and like has not moved. I figured she would probably sit somewhere more comfortable, like maybe go sit on the couch over there, but she sat on the chair and like is just like sucked in.
Frozen in place.
Dude, you want to know what's like grown-up kryptonite for nerds?
Hmm.
How it's made.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I put that on to just chill to one night, and I woke up the next morning.
That can happen.
Like,
that can easily happen.
Like, it was 9 o'clock when I turned this on. I wasn't even tired yet.
So
I just found it on Discovery Plus.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so when me and Jordan were first dating, we were both in the Army, and we weren't allowed to be alone together because of like fraternization rules and stuff in the Army. So on the weekends, we were allowed to go off base, but we had to be in uniform. So we would both bring some extra clothes, and we would get a hotel room for the day and just hang out, watch TV, and like change into like sweatpants and stuff, so that we could hang out and like be by ourselves and like not have to worry about getting yelled at for being just the two of us. And every single Saturday, we would get into our hotel room and Food Factory would be on. So we would watch Food Factory all the time, like every single weekend. And so then when Jordan left the Army and he went back to Utah, he called me one day and he was like, yeah, Food Factory came on the TV the other day and it made me really sad because I missed watching it with you. I'm like,
Aww.
Wholesome.
I know.
I'm like that with Chopped and my best friend. When we lived together, we would just put Chopped on and just watch it. And I tried to watch it without him, and I was like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And he goes, I know, I tried it too, and it's not.
Another coincidence pertaining to mine and Jordan's relationship, I had made a joke when Jordan was getting ready to leave the army and move back to Utah, and I was staying in the army. And I made a joke that our song was Babe by Styx because it was similar, like, I mean, if you know that song, then Babe, I'm leaving, like that song. So I was like, oh, that's our song because you're leaving me or whatever. And he's like, oh, that's funny. And so I was like, this is our relationship song. And then when he got on the bus to leave, like he had came, hugged me, said goodbye, Leah, to get on the bus and go to the airport to go. And then he got on the bus and literally the guy started the car and Babe started right at the beginning of the song, like right as they were leaving base for him to like go back to Utah. And he said that he started bawling because like just that song, like right at the start of the song, like come on, man, you can't tell me that that's not a sign. So, you know, more wholesomeness. All right.
Stories. That'd be awesome.
I wrote another like 4 sentences. Maybe 5 sentences.
I'm up to 800 words on the dot.
Yay!
I am editing technically, so it's slow.
I lit a bunch of candles and the entire room smells like vanilla now because they didn't have any of the other ones, but I'm fine with it.
I don't have any. Oh, well, I do have one candle, but it's upstairs, and I'm too lazy to walk up there right now. So.
And this, like, I don't know, -1, -2 draft is over 1,000 words now. Wow.
That's getting real, Charlie. It's turning into a real writing project now.
Oh no, my entire outline is now what, 2K, I think? The whole thing.
Okay, so speaking of projects and outlines and stuff, Haley, this is what I have for my outline for Project Cowbase so far.
Yeah.
I made a sheet or a board specifically for the Romancing the Beat because it's phases. And then this one is for regular stories because it's just the 3 acts. But I have to keep this one over the one with the sticky notes, otherwise Noel will pull all my sticky notes off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the outline for all 5, including what I've been doing for the first one, is now 2374. So that's the goal, is just to grow it a little bit with each pass as I figure out more and more and more and incorporate the changes. Hopefully there aren't any more big surprises that we don't already know.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of editing, Haley, this is just a question for you since you won the discount from me.
Mm-hmm.
The project that you're going to use your discount on, is it this vampire romance?
Yes.
Yay, I'm excited.
I haven't decided if I'm going to need to use you guys for line edits or copy edits yet, but it probably won't be till like the very last round.
Right. So what I would say is, you know, get to the point where you're comfortable to send it to us. Like you're like, okay, I'm ready for them to work on it now. You send it to us, and then we'll actually read it and tell you like we think you need this or this.
Okay, cool.
And then you can decide from there if you agree with us or not. But like, I feel like most of the time, well, every time so far, when we say we think you need this level, everybody's agreed with us so far. So.
Yeah.
But like, if we say, oh, we think you need line editing, but you're like, no, I think I'm good with the line, and you can just do copy, or you know, vice versa or whatever. So, we'll see.
See, that's a service worth it right there, because every time in the past I've thought about hiring an editor to help, I get paralyzed over I don't know which what level of editing this needs, because you know, after you've been working on a manuscript for so long, all you can see is the ghosts of former errors, and things that you just wish you did better.
Yeah.
That's a service
See,
right there.
that's one thing that me and Jace are like really. Yeah, well, that's one thing me and Jace are really like adamant on is we prefer it for people to contact for a sample edit, because not only does it help you to decide if you do want to hire us, but it also helps us assess how much work it's going to take to do that project. Because then from there we can say, like, based on the sample edit, we can say, oh well, if you're looking for this kind of editing, I think you need more than that, and either you need to work on it some more by yourself, or you need to do this other service. And so especially like, say you contact us for a copy edit, but it needs way more than a copy edit. We don't want to spend the extra time on a project that's not ready for us yet. Like, and we'll tell you, like, if your project is not ready for us yet, it needs more developmental editing, or whatever, we're gonna tell you this needs more than what this service offers, and you probably should either work on it some more, or you need a more expensive service from us.
Like, seriously, after I use you guys on one of these books, I'm going to record an entire commercial of just like, I didn't know what the hell I needed. And then I went to City Editing, and they told me exactly what was wrong with me.
Yeah, because it's a beneficial process to both of us for us to do an assessment, because I don't want to agree to do a copy edit on a book, sign the agreement saying I'll do the copy edit for this much money in this amount of time, and then open the project and be like, well, shit, this needs a full line edit, and that takes like twice the amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's more expensive for a line edit because it takes so long. So.
For what I'm anticipating is whether or not I'm going to need line edit or copy edit is going to depend on how many like really mean beta readers I can get.
Right.
Because when it's something labeled as a work in progress for me, there is no depth to how thick my skin is and how mean you can try and dab me before it hurts my feelings. I need people to understand. You can tell me it's garbage, and I'll be like, yeah, you're probably right, but it's garbage I can fix, right?
Right.
You'd be nicer than my husband, who just like would mark a page with, you can do better than this, and not tell me what he didn't like. Like, I've gotten way too many manuscripts back with just like, you can do better, written on a page, and I'm just like, well, what didn't you like? What was wrong?
Can you be more specific?
Jordan's the opposite. Jordan's way the opposite to that. I will give him something and say, please read this and tell me like what you think I can improve. And he will go through it, not even write anything down, which bothers me like crazy, because every time I tell him, write it in the margin or write it on a piece of paper, because I won't remember. But he'll just he'll read it, and he'll sit there as he's reading. Oh, this part is like not good. Oh, this part I don't like. Oh, this part I don't like. It's like, just write it down. I will go through them later when I can sit and actually make changes. But you sitting here telling me all this crap that you don't like and not anything that you do like does not help me.
That's not a good critique.
No. The best beta reader I ever had, I had to learn how to download a chat log from Facebook Messenger, because they would copy the sentence out that they had a problem with and write like a paragraph about what was wrong with it. And like, I just got this like steady stream of everything I did wrong in the world. And I'm like, I'm going to lose this somehow. How do I save this? How do I back this up so I can use all this valuable data coming in? And why aren't you just using the Google Doc the way nature and God intended?
I mean, there is a thing such as commenting on Google Docs, meaning you don't have to copy the whole sentence. You can just highlight the sentence and then write your paragraph.
Oh, I know. And I wrote like an entire paragraph at the introduction to the manuscript on how to do that, just in case anybody didn't know how to do that. But no, they just it was really valuable stuff. But like, my phone's just going crazy because every time they saw like a word that was misspelled or something, they just copied and pasted it over into Messenger and sent me another message and another one and another one and another one.
Oh man, they wanted to punish you with this.
Oh, it was nerve wracking because every time my phone went, I'm like, I messed something else up. Like, it took forever to get that feeling off of like hearing my phone buzz and not think, oh, I'm in trouble for something. What did I do wrong?
See, I haven't gone through the beta reading process yet because at this point it's just been Jace that's actually read my full book other than myself. So, like, Jordan has read the first chapter and has had quite a bit to say about how bad it is. But Jace is the only other person other than myself that's actually read the whole thing and, like, understands exactly my intentions for the project and everything. So, like, he's literally the only person that I can go to. I'm like, hey, I have this thought for my book. What do you think of it? And then he can actually give me an answer because he actually knows what he's actually read it and he knows what's going on. Like,
I think I want to, when I finally finish the first draft of my book, which God knows when that's going to be. Truly, God is the only one who knows at this point. Because I had wanted to have the first draft done like last year. So, but I think I want to do 2 rounds of my like self edits, but how I want to do it because I work so much better like commenting on a computer. But I have to I want to print it out and then go through with a highlighter and a pen and just write on it and highlight everything.
I do that with chapters that are particularly difficult for me to edit on the computer. If I'm having a really hard time with it, I'll print it out and I can do it by hand. And it's like somehow it magically makes me way more critical of myself and actually know what I need to change. Something about it. I don't know.
So I think I'm going to go through 2 rounds of that by myself and then give it to alpha readers. So, and I'm thinking alpha readers one of them might end up being my stepmother because she when she was in college, she actually went to college not long before her and my dad got together, I think. Because she went to college late in life. And one of her teachers actually said, stop. You're doing too much correction. Because she would actually go through her own papers more thoroughly than the teacher would with a red pen. And she actually would hand those in occasionally to the teacher. So that's because I know she will rip it to shreds. That is why I want to give it to her.
I'm kind of in a state where I need some, I don't know what to call them, alpha readers, something like stages before alpha stage. Because when I decided to shuffle the worlds together, I was kind of already writing something in the time period that this is going to happen. So I've got 3-4 chapters done of this completely separate story that I don't know if I want to shuffle them in as interstitials of what's going on elsewhere in the world. Or are they a side project that's going to happen on the side? Or do I just trash it and forget that ever happened? And I think they're interesting, but I don't know if anybody else will. I need super pre-alpha, we're living in the dream state outline readers. I don't even know what to call that.
I will read all the outlines. I love the outlines. I am a big fan of just conceptual discussions on stuff, and that is a big downfall with my writing because I never get to the stage where I'm like, okay, you can start looking at my particular phrasing here and the grammar because I know I'm not going to be changing these sentences unless there's something wrong. Everything else is just and I think this whole concept is trash.
I want to go through 5 edits, I think. 5 or 6 edits before I want to send it to. Because I took, that checklist that the teachers always had, because I have that planner now. I have it set up for outline draft 1 is going to be me printing it and then commenting on it, and then the edit one is actually implementing the edits. So I have draft 1, draft 2, getting draft 3, making draft 3, and then giving it to people to read, going through the comments, and then go to draft 4, draft 5, and then beta it.
Because I'm just saying, Spence, since I've read several of your outlines, if you want me to send you some of this nightmare footage,
yes,
that could be a thing.
Okay, so
Do the thing, Charlie.
is this when you're proofreading for yourself or like do you proofread for other people? Because I was gonna my input here is that when I proofread for other people, proofreading should be the final stage, and you should literally only be checking formatting and like punctuation and misspelling, and that's about it. You shouldn't have to be using this many different colors because there shouldn't be this many mistakes at the proofreading stage.
Yeah, CB, you're editing.
You're full on editing though.
That's not proofreading, CB. That's
Proofreading is at the point where you have a proof copy of your book that's fully formatted. It's in the final stage, like you're just about to release it, and you go through and double check all the formatting, last checks on punctuation and spelling mistakes and that kind of stuff. If you're going through that much effort, then you're at the very least you're copy editing. If you're looking at syntax, then you're probably line editing. So just okay, for yourself. Yeah, so you're line editing. Special needs, uneducated, and dumb. So yeah. Well, whatever. I wasn't sure if that's what you meant or not, because if I think of using that many different things for a proofreading for like a client, that's a nightmare. And I would have to demand more money from them because that's way, way, way too much work for the price of proofreading. Yeah, so again, that's why I do assessments of books before I agree to work on them, because it would be like my worst nightmare if somebody's like, hey, I need you to proofread this, and they hand it to me and I have to do that much work. Oh no. Please don't ever do that to me. Anybody, ever. Please don't do that to me.
I'll do everything in my power.
That just makes me think of like one of my nieces hitting me something that's like sopping wet, and they're just like, "Here, fix this." Fix this. Like, there's a few stages to this, child. I need to separate it and dry it, and then we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna say something about editing again, but I've forgotten what I was gonna say now because it was like pertained to previous statements. I don't know. ADD brain, you know. Whatever. Oh, okay, I remember. Okay, so in terms of stages of like editing my book and sending it to people to read and stuff, I'm going into my second draft right now, doing all the developmental edits and adding the new scenes and all that stuff. Once I'm done with this, I want to do one more pass through of it just to make sure I got all the developmental changes I wanted in there, and then I'm going to get 4 or 5 like somewhere between alpha and beta readers, like I guess alpha readers, but like 4 or 5 of them and not just like 1 or 2, and have them read it, do a whole nother round, then do some beta reading, and I'll do as many beta reading rounds as I need to do until people stop giving me a bunch of things to change. And basically just go back and forth between beta reading, make all the changes, beta reading, make all the changes until it's done. And then after that, then I'm going to actually hire somebody to professionally copy and all that stuff. Copy edit and whatnot. But yeah, that's going to be my process. So if anybody wants to be an alpha reader, it's going to be probably in like another 6 months because of how freaking slow it takes me to edit. But like, let's see. I'm on chapter 18 out of 39. So.
Chunky.
Yeah. Not all the chapters are very long, though. The word count total currently is around 60,000-ish, maybe 62,000 at this point, because when I first started editing to doing the developmental edits, I was sitting at 58,000, and I have added words to it So it's probably somewhere around 62 to 63,000 right now, and my goal is to get it to about 80,000 because it's urban fantasy. So, but to get people interested, it's urban fantasy, kind of like a cozy mystery type thing. Imagine Supernatural, the TV show, but instead of two brothers, it's a female main character and her like mentor, who's an immortal, grumpy ass guy.
I'm in. Sold me. Take my money.
Yay! I think potentially I could probably get in on the reader base of people who are fans of Supernatural because I feel like it's similar enough of a concept that people would enjoy it, but the world itself or the way the creatures work and all that stuff is really different. But like just the whole detective of supernatural creatures aspect of it is what's the same. So, that's where I'm at. And if that sounds interesting enough for you to want to be a alpha/beta reader, just let me know. I'm open. I need people to read it, and I need people who are going to be critical but nice. I'm open to any form of criticism. If you think I need to change something, absolutely tell me. Just don't be a jerk about it.
I'll do it.
Yay! All right, now speaking of this project, we should start another sprint so I can do some more writing on it. Because I'm working on this chapter that the first page of this chapter was already written, but I have to add a whole scene to the rest of the chapter. So I'm writing new words currently. Noelle, do you want to say go?
No.
No, you don't want to?
No.
3,
No.
2,
No.
1, go!
No!
No.
I agree with Noelle.
Okay, that could not have been better timing because literally I finished typing a sentence and the song I was listening to both like all simultaneously happened right when the bell went off. Like
Nice.
I hit the period, song ended, and the bell went off all exactly at the same time.
Today is just not my day. Like my internet crashed.
Aw.
I spent most of that sprint getting my internet back up. That's why I disappeared and came back.
I didn't realize you had disappeared until you had come back, and I was like, oh. But I was in a different tab, so.
Yeah, I had some sound on in the background and it cut off, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I noticed like everything was spinning. I was like, oh crap, the internet's down.
Damn. Well, I wrote like 2 paragraphs that time.
Awesome.
They're shorter paragraphs, but it's still more than I was writing.
I mean, the good news is everything in my office smells like vanilla now, so yay.
And
My house smells like fresh air. It's better than vanilla.
Oh, I tried opening the door today because it's like in the mid 60s outside, and it's all moldy from all of the melting snow, so it's not fresh air out there.
And for me, since the stream has started, I have written a grand total of 254 words.
Nice.
But better than 0, so.
I'm over 1,000 for the day.
Nice.
Yay! After we wrap up with the stream, I am going to have to go clean out my fridge before I pick up my groceries because, like, I need to throw away any produce that's gone bad or, all that stuff. I need to clear it out. And then there will be room for the new groceries to go into the fridge.
I hope the hubby isn't planning on me setting up the new refrigerator because I'm not getting near it. It is like anger box right now. So if he's expecting it to be set up and running by the time he gets home, he's gonna have a sad surprise.
Is it out of the box or
No, I'd have to do like everything.
Well, yeah. Well, one, it has to just sit before you plug it in for a couple of hours, and then you have to plug it in, and you can't put anything in it for a couple of hours.
Yeah, the compressor on our old one has become unreliable. So
I haven't had any issues with my fridge, but if I did, I live in an apartment and they have to replace it for me. So.
Well, we bought it used when we got it like 10 years ago. So like it's long outlived its livelihood, like its lifespan. So
right. Yeah. But every time I get groceries, because I get groceries about every 2 weeks because I try to make it go with the paychecks and we get paid. Jordan gets paid every 2 weeks. So that's about as long as I let leftovers stay in my fridge. If they don't get eaten in 2 weeks, then they're garbage. Like usually they do, but sometimes they don't. I do have a thing of cheesy potato soup that I made that didn't get eaten, but that's okay because it wasn't really that good anyways. I don't know what happened to it. It was really good when I first finished it, like it was like still hot in the thing and everything, but then the second it started to cool down, it basically turned into the consistency of mashed potatoes.
I think this weekend we're making freezer pizza crusts most of the weekend because we've got a recipe that actually works. Like they don't taste frozen, like but you basically like pre-cook. You basically pre-cook the crust most of the way before freezing it. But we were curious, and so then whenever you want a pizza, you just pull out a crust, put your sauce and toppings on it, and put it in the oven. Yay!
I tried doing that once, like mini pizzas, and I messed it up, and they were like underbaked, and it was the most unpleasant thing ever.
This is like the world's most forgiving dough. Like you can leave it, like after you've got it mixed up, you can just leave it in the fridge for like 2-3 days, and it just the flavor gets richer because of the fermentation. And then you literally like treat it like a fry bread. You cook it in a skillet until it's browned, and then you put your toppings on it and put it in the oven. It's basically like a fry bread pizza kind of a thing, but so good.
I unfortunately do not have the freezer space to make things ahead of time and freeze them because my freezer's just really small because it's the way my kitchen is. The above the fridge is cabinets, and so the fridge can only be so tall, and so I just can't make a ton of stuff to store for later. Makes me sad. Me and Jordan were talking about maybe getting a small chest freezer and putting it on our patio, but because we have a plug right outside the door against the wall of our shed, that we could put a small chest freezer out there. But I don't know.
That's what we have in the corner of my office over there. We've got a chest freezer because food is very unreliable around here. Like, I think the other day on the stream I showed the pictures of what the stores look like around here. Like, they're not much better still.
Right. Yeah, one thing I do a lot in that I can make ahead of and keep in the fridge. I will make a ton of like chicken breast and slice it up, and then I'll basically pre-chop and prepare all the vegetables and have like a salad bar in my fridge in various Tupperware, and then you just pull out like what you want on your salad and you can assemble it.
And we have a chest freezer, and it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Until I moved into a place that had a standing freezer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want this now because
Yeah.
I like to pre-make cookies in like scoop them out on the tray and freeze them, and then you pull them out and put them in a bag. It's like there were 12 racks in there. I could have got so many cookies in there. And I utilized the hell out of it. And when we moved out, I didn't get to keep it. And I was very sad.
Yeah,
Does that with the magic snickerdoodles.
I really want to move out of this tiny ass apartment and buy a house. But the housing market right now is definitely a seller's market, and we just can't afford it. And to get the size of house that we would want, we need to wait a while until the market starts to move more in the buyer's favor. So we're going to be stuck in this apartment for a while, which is why I decided I was going to invest in this situation because I'm tired of having to sit at the dining room table. And I was like, well, if I'm going to be stuck in this apartment for God knows how long, I'm going to make it work for me. So here I am making it work for me.
So that's why I have an office in my bedroom closet.
I'm teetering back and forth between whether I'm like just admitting we're going to be staying here for a while and like still being in that get me the hell out of here. I hate it here. It's so it's so dysfunctional.
Yeah, I don't mind this apartment if it was like just me and Jordan. It'd be just the perfect amount of space. But with me and Jordan and Noelle and all of our stuff, it's just too small. It's just not functional. It's too small. I can't really buy in bulk of anything because I do not have any space to put anything. Like my kitchen is so small that I can't buy any groceries in bulk. That's why I have to go every paycheck and buy groceries. Otherwise, I would go to Costco and I would get a bunch of stuff in bulk. I can't do it because I don't have anywhere to put any of that stuff. Like I don't have the cabinet space to store anything in bulk.
Mm.
And it sucks because I really want to get like a Costco card and start buying stuff in bulk. Like I want to get a freaking huge thing of toilet paper so I don't have to go get toilet paper all the time. I want to get a huge thing of paper towels. I want to get a huge thing of like juice for Noelle so we don't always run out of juice. Like but I can't because I don't have the space.
As somebody who's lived in I want to get the hell out of here since 2004, like you get used to that feeling after a while. Like
yeah,
it's just
with this place it's kind of almost like that because I have a very toxic relationship with my landlord because they refuse or incapable of seeing me as a separate person with a separate personality and separate priorities from my parents who also used to rent from them. So that stresses me out. And they did such a shitty job of finishing this place. I've dusted something and taken up paint. with like a barely damp cloth, and I'm like,
This apartment,
cleaning this place destroys it, and I hate it because I know the toxic situation just adds to all that stress. It's like, ugh.
this is one of those apartments that is really cheap comparatively to for the area. Like to get about the same size apartment in a better neighborhood, it'd be like $300 to $400 more than what this apartment costs. And so I'm grateful for it because it is affordable for us. However, it's in a crappy neighborhood. Not this last winter, but the winter before. It was this last winter before Christmas, like late fall, early winter. Everybody in my apartment complex cars were getting broken into and their stuff was getting stolen. Like, and this is a gated apartment complex. So either somebody's breaking in somehow or residents that live here are breaking into each other's cars. Like my friend Liz that was coming and hanging out with me all the time, her car got broken into and they stole a bunch of stuff. She lives in her car because she's homeless and she keeps all of her stuff in her car. And they stole like a ton of her stuff. And I felt really bad. And she's like, she didn't blame me for it because I mean, it is a gated apartment complex. She thought it was, fine. And I think that she had left her car unlocked. And that's why they were able to break in because they didn't break a window or anything. But my car got broken into. They didn't steal anything because I don't keep anything in there that's worth stealing. But the only reason I knew it got broken into is because I keep all of my CDs in my center console, and they were out and like across the passenger seat. And I was like, I didn't do this, so somebody probably broke into my car. But I probably left my car unlocked too because there was no broken window or anything either. So I don't know. It's just frustrating.
Well, this is a coat hanger, and you can get into any car. That's
right.
what I know.
And then
I do. We own a restaurant, and people lock their keys in their cars all the time. So.
Well, it's harder to do that with my car because the button to unlock the doors is in the center console, and you can't reach it from the window. And the lock is one of those stick ones, so it's hard. You can't really pull it up very easily.
If you basically, if you feed it down by the window, you can usually feel the lock mechanism on the inside and pop it.
Well,
we've had to do this numerous times for employees and guests.
Well, either way, plus my apartment itself is really crappy. Like our closet doors are the sliding kind, and they are all like lopsided and crooked because of the way they're hung. The paint, I can just show you an example right here on this corner of this wall. See that spot right there where the cord goes across? Yeah. That is like plaster and paint that has completely fallen off that corner because I bumped it with something. Just like a huge chunk just fell off. And it's really shitty. It's really shitty. Like my dishwasher leans forward, like it's installed in the counter, and it's tilted forward. So like the counter's flat, cupboards are straight, and like imagine this is the cupboard, this is the dishwasher.
Oh.
It's not quite that dramatic, but it does lean forward, and I'm constantly having to grab underneath and pull the bottom out so that it goes straight, but then it like slowly goes back again. All of my burners are broken. Not a single one of them works. Well, one of them works, but I have to have it on high to cook at a medium temperature. So pretty much all the cooking I do is either with like my crock pot or my instant pot, or like I have this griddle thing. So basically all stuff that I have to plug in and use because my stove basically doesn't work. My oven works fine because I had that fixed recently, but I think the reason why the stove doesn't work is because the coils are old. Because he did recently, like a couple months ago when he fixed my oven, he fixed the wiring on the burners. I think it's the burners themselves.
Oh, is it an electric one?
Yeah. I think those themselves need to get replaced because he fixed all the wiring on it. And because one of my burners was not working at all, and he replaced the wiring and it started working again, and then it slowly stopped working. And I think it's the element, the heating element needs to get replaced. But
It's 11:10 my time.
fuck me and my life, because I just want an apartment that's functional, and yet things are constantly breaking. I just had to get my toilet upstairs replaced because it started leaking out of the water supply into the tank. And then when he opened it up to see if he could fix it, that tower part that goes up so that the toilet tank can fill up snapped, completely broken. So the tank couldn't even fill up anymore, and it was leaking. So, and the toilet was so old that he was explaining to me what he was going to have to do to fix it. He was going to have to take the tank off to rebuild the inside components. But in order to take the tank off, he was going to have to use an angle grinder to cut off the bolts because they were so rusted he wouldn't be able to take them off. Take the tank off, replace the bolts to put it back on. And
At that point, just get a new toilet.
fortunately, because he's the handyman, he lives on site, and basically he gets free rent to fix everything. And so he told the landlord, like, this is what it's going to take to fix it. And she's like, just replace the toilet. Thank God, because it would have taken him a few days to rebuild it versus it took him like a few hours to just take it off and put a new toilet in.
Our maintenance man had to replace the guts of our toilet, but then he did it wrong. So we had to, like, instead of it leaking into the toilet, it was leaking out of the toilet.
Oh.
Because before it was the back was leaking, just it was a continuously running toilet. So he replaced the guts because so that would stop. That technically stopped.
All right.
That's not better.
It's 7:00, and my family hasn't had dinner, so I have to go.
Okay. I'm probably going to wrap this up anyways because I got to leave in like an hour to go get my groceries, and I need to clean out my fridge first.
So thank you for having me on. I wrote 1,000 words in my project today, and I'm very happy about that.
Yay.
I sent you that thing I call an outline.
I saw it. I was very happy.
All right. Do you want to do an outro?
Yeah, I'm Spence. I post videos sometimes. At some point, either Saturday or Sunday is probably going to be the day I do my Don't Starve Till You Hit 10K challenge. So if anybody is interested in helping me run that shit show, let me know. Bye.
Bye.
Why am I waving? My camera's turned off.
All right. Well, I do need to wrap up too because I gotta go clean out my fridge before I can go pick up my groceries, and then I also have to move my Sims save file from Jordan's computer to my laptop so I can play it on here. So things that need to happen. So who wants to go first? Okay, Kat, you go first. I'll decide for you. Kat, go.
Okay, I'm Kat. I the Twitch, where I'm actually going to go after this. I was gonna do Sims, but I'm actually gonna play Stardew Valley till about 8:00ish, and then I'm gonna do productivity from 8 to 10ish tonight Eastern time. So that's important to know. That's twitch.tv/catlayoutwriting. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. ish. 8:30 a.m. ish. That's the order you say that in. I do productivity streams until about 11, and then at noon Eastern we start the Sims 4 3 play on my Twitch, and then we go to Jace on YouTube and or Twitch, and then to Meadow. Jace does the building, Meadow does the gameplay.
Yeah. Speaking of this, I will be doing a bonus episode tonight after I get home and put my groceries away, because I have to age up one of the kids before we can continue on with our challenge, as usual. So that will be happening tonight, probably around 10:30 Eastern-ish.
Yes.
Yeah, so around 10:30 Eastern, I will be doing that. So if you like the Sims stuff that we do, that'll be happening at that time. Okay, I'm done with that. Are you done with your outro?
Yeah.
Okay, Charlie, it's your turn.
Hi, my name is Charlie, and I'm not staring at the Valheim page on Steam wanting to buy it and play it and not actually do work today. That's you. You're doing that. That's not me. I'm currently in the process of my, I don't know, -3 draft. I don't know. I'm working somewhere in the 0 draft process, working out this 5-book series, really liking it. I will be streaming somewhere tomorrow. I don't know. It's a thing. I will be streaming tomorrow starting at 5 Eastern. For Central, we'll be doing productivity sprints, and we'll be doing kind of a more chatty with some productivity thrown in on Friday, same time. And yeah, if I have the gumption, I will actually get these videos edited and put out too, because like that's the thing I also do. And this all might not be a thing if I finally get them to fix the thing that they broke when they did the thing that they announced. Which, by the way, means the podcast may be coming out later than, I don't know. Hopefully my podcast starts working again. So, hi.
All right, well, then that leaves me. Hello. Thank you for coming to my writing stream today. I have 2 of them a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern and Friday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And now that my internet has returned to me after the ice storm, I can go back to my normal schedule. I'm going to do The Sims tonight and also tomorrow. And then I have no other things coming out anytime soon, other than my usual streams. I'm an editor for Rose City Editing. I work pretty much with self-published authors and only, and me and Jace are business partners. We work on most fiction genres, but we specifically ourselves write and read in mostly fantasy, adult fantasy realm. But we can work on anything. So if you're looking for an editor and you want to hire us, you can go to rosecityediting.com and you can contact us on there for a free sample edit. It will benefit you and us to do that. So please don't try to skip that process. It needs to happen. It is free, so you don't have to you send me like the first 2 or 3 chapters of your book, and we do edit them as if we were editing the full project, and then you can see our process, and we can assess your book at the same time. So there you go. And yeah, so I think that's it for me. Oh, coming up in the future, within the next 2-ish months, I will be posting Arabic lesson videos. It's just taking me a long time because I'm making free printables that you guys can download and print to follow along with the videos that are going to be really, really helpful, as well as scripting them all out because there's a lot that I want to cover and I don't want to overload videos and stuff. So I want to do shorter ones. So that's just taking me a while, but I will be doing it. It will be basically beginner's lessons for Arabic for anybody who's wanting to learn it. So yay. Okay, now that's it for me. I will see you guys later tonight if you watch The Sims, and goodbye. I'm ending broadcast.